What an unbelievable Grand Prix, lads. That was probably the best Grand Prix we have seen in years. In fact, would it be even as good as the drama of the last lap in Abu Dhabi 2021? Oh, let's get into it. And we've got all the results here, lads. And what Verstappen needs to do to clinch the championship at Vegas.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from fifth all the way to the lead in lap one.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter. Wow. Penalties, and more penalties. Lads, the FIA, they really need to be scrutinised. I mean, in all my racing years, there's no college that the clerk of the course, the stewards, okay, the official guys, there's no college that they go to get a degree in this type of thing. They learn it as they go. Some of them can be good, some of them can be very biased, and I've seen that a lot. And corruption. A lot of corruption that can happen in these type of scenarios. You want to know your racing inside out to be an FIA steward. And sometimes it's just about who you know. Some guy in there, he's in charge, he's the ref, let's say. And he could literally just be a pal of the Formula 1 owner or the Formula Ford, Formula 3 racing championship owner, right? A buddy. This stuff can happen because they really have to be looked at now, lads. They really, truly do. This is getting crazy, the amount of penalties. So many stupid decisions. And I think as well, and by the way, I'm not a Verstappen fan, as many of you probably know, but I'm standing up for him here. He got shafted with that 17th. Couple of grid place drops. So, to get a 10-second delay as well again or something? I literally can't keep up. Jesus, man. What is going on? They were really trying to outdo him, but what an unbelievable performance by Max Verstappen. I'm going to throw in my hat to you, sir. Congratulations. That was unreal. He got a little lucky too, and believe me, lads, you need some luck too. Okay? You have to have a bit of luck swing your way as well. And it was an unbelievable performance. He well deserved that race win. What can you say? It was incredible. It was absolutely breathtaking. So lads, if you haven't seen the race, please go onto YouTube and watch this. Even the highlights. It'll probably be even better on the highlights simply because they'll give you all the good parts and it'll probably be about a half an hour. Wow, stunning. Now guys, okay, we're going to go through what does Max Verstappen have to do to win the championship in Vegas, which is the next bloody round. That's right, he could take it all at the next round with 2 races to go after that. Unbelievable. Okay guys, so before we get into that, what does he have to do? We'll just call out the top 5. Verstappen obviously takes the win. Brilliant finish for Ocon and Gasly in the Alpines. Awesome. George Russell in 4th. Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari in 5th. It was just, I'm lost for words. Now, let's read this article, lads, and this is exactly now the permutations, what it needs for Verstappen. So they're saying here, Verstappen wrapped up his 3rd title in 2023 at the Qatar Sprint with 5 rounds remaining. But how soon can he do it now? So, there's a maximum of 86 points up for grabs across the remaining 3 rounds of the season. Okay, 86 lads. Now to score this amount, a driver would have to take victory in all 3 Grand Prix, with each awarding 25 points, win the sprint in Qatar, take the 8 points as well, and score the additional point for setting the fastest lap at every race. Jesus Christ. I mean, Lando Norris has got one hell of a mountain to climb now, lads. Can he do it? Anything's possible, but it ain't looking very good for our boy here. Now, I'm going to still throw in, and we're going to keep coming back to this in a minute, lads. I'm going to say that they didn't help themselves either. They have pissed this down the toilet. Pissed it all away. And Norris and I'm telling you lads, I've seen this so many times in different racing scenarios that, okay, you could say, well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if Verstappen's going to win the championship, he's going to win the championship. But let me tell you now, those 3 rounds in the summertime when they let Piastri finish ahead of Lando Norris was suicide, because he could have picked up an extra, I think as far as I remember, I got up to, it was either 15 or 17 points. Forgive me, I should have actually written that down, lads. But it's around that anyway, okay? It's around that. 15, 17 extra points. And even before Sao Paulo, this would have put a lot more pressure on Red Bull. And lads, all you need, it's like that stone in your shoe, okay? You don't notice the stone too much, right? But then you start doing plenty of mileage in your boots. What happens? You start to get uncomfortable. Then it starts to dig into your skin. Then all of a sudden you're limping if it keeps going. So lads, let me tell you, that it'd be wear and tear. Wear and tear. But look, I'm talking out of my ass too, let's be honest. I mean, I'm talking about here and this and so and blah, 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 blah. It's because it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It was a sensational win. Again, I know I gotta stop saying that. Okay, let's get back to the slides. I'm getting all sidetracked. The maths show Verstappen could win the Drivers' Championship as early as the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Now, with victory in Sin City guaranteeing Verstappen the title, giving him an unsaleable lead heading into the final 2 Grand Prix, regardless of where Norris finishes. Outside of outright victory, Verstappen will automatically take the title if Norris doesn't outscore him by at least 3 points in Vegas. While even if Verstappen fails to score, Norris would still need to finish at least 8th or 9th with a fastest lap point. Bottom line, lads, he just needs to win, and Verstappen needs to have DNF, DNF, DNF. And that's the only way it's going to happen at this stage. Now, they're saying here, Norris needs to outscore Verstappen at every race weekend in order to keep his chances of beating the 3-time champion alive, but also needs multiple weekends where he can make significant inroads into the points deficit. The Briton had closed up to within 44 after the Sao Paulo sprint, but leaves Brazil with a 62-point deficit to the Dutchman after Verstappen's epic Grand Prix win, and where Norris finished 6th. Given that 62-point gap going into Vegas, and the fact that after that race there'll be 60 points available, Norris needs to outscore Verstappen by 3 points in Nevada to keep the fight alive. If Norris wins, the title fight continues regardless of where Verstappen finishes and whether the Dutchman grabs the bonus point. So, and now let me bring this up now in front of you guys here for the screen. So you can see here now, they're actually doing all the permutations here, which is pretty cool. So Verstappen's results in Vegas, if he finishes top 10 or 11th or lower, if Verstappen finishes 2nd, Norris needs to finish 1st. If Verstappen finishes 3rd, Norris needs to take either 1st or 2nd. If Verstappen finishes 4th, Norris, minimum, again, we're talking minimum, he needs to finish 3rd or 2nd. Bare minimum now, lads. And then if it's, let me see, if Verstappen finishes 5th, Norris needs to be 4th or 3rd. Verstappen 6th, Norris 5th or 4th. Verstappen 7th, Norris 6th or 5th. Verstappen 8th, Norris goes 7th or 6th. Verstappen goes 9th, 8th, Norris has to go 8th or 7th. And if Verstappen goes 10th, Norris has to minimum again, finishes 9th or 8th. So, that's it, lads. The man has got a mountain to climb. And I think, you know what, lads? There's a lot to learn from something like this. Okay? And I'm being serious. Maybe you've never raced in your life. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you don't care, right? But a lot of things in our life, business careers, dating, I mean, anything, racing, it doesn't matter. A stitch in time saves 9. And these lads absolutely screwed themselves with Oscar Piastri outdoing Lando Norris. And they let him do this. Now, look, I'm a Piastri fan. Okay? I'm not having a go off him. I'm genuinely not. I'm just saying they were never behind their boy. Never behind their boy. And they still aren't. I mean, we even saw in Mexico, Zach Brown, the dick, put in an IndyCar driver into Lando Norris's car. Now, you might not have seen my previous episode, lads, but basically that was suicide. That was criminal. Because if that IndyCar driver shunted the car, rode the car off, they might not have had time to actually get that car ready. Like, there's a lot of work that gets done, guys, right? It's not just about putting suspension and the wishbones back on and doing this and doing that, right? They would have had to have done the tracking on the car, okay? So when the wheels are offset, or maybe you look like that, okay? You've got toe in, toe out. You've got camber. You've got caster. So all these tires, they're coming with different degrees of alignment. And that depends on your scenario, but it's for grip, okay? Or even less grip. So they would have had a lot of work to be done into that car if that guy shunted the car. I've never seen a team boss. I can tell you this, Christian Horner and Toto Wolff would not have anyone stepped into Lewis Hamilton's car or George Russell's car if they were going for the championship. You can tell you that. There is no way Christian Horner would have put anyone into Max Verstappen's car. He would have laughed at you and said, get the hell out of here. And I think actually all the team bosses, except for Zach Brown, would have done it. I don't know, guys. Is this guy sniffing glue in the car park? Is he drunk? I don't get this guy at all, man. I don't get this guy at all. Anyway. Guys, we're going to leave it there today. And we'll be back. We'll be back during the week with some shorter clips on YouTube. During the week, we're going to discuss it more. And, of course, we'll be back for Vegas. And, lads, definitely tune in for Vegas because that's one hell of a race.
Walsh running the Irish green, and look at the move he's making down to the inside.
Moves to the front from 5th all the way to the lead in lap 1.
Walsh takes win number 2.
Peter Walsh.